The terror attacks of September 11th raised the global awareness about terrorism. KPA, Kenya Port Authority, adapted the ISPS code for securing its ports, and as a result, with the help of the World Bank, chose Magal to deliver a turnkey solution for the Mombasa port. Magal S3 presents Securing the Port of Mombasa with a state-of-the-art solution.
Israelin valtio on joutunut puolustamaan ja turvaamaan monin eri tavoin omien kansalaistensa elämää valtion synnystä alkaen. Tästä syystä ei ole hämmästyttävää, että siitä on tullut myös maailman johtava valtio turvallisuusjärjestelmien kehittämisessä. Magal Security Systems-yhtiö sijaitsee Yahudin kaupungissa lähellä Tel Avivia. Magalilla on 40 vuoden kokemus Israelin maan arkaluontoisimmista turvallisuusalueista. Magal on vastuussa esimerkiksi Israelin rajojen turvallisuusjärjestelmistä. Yhtiö on myös turvannut monia laitoksia ympäri maailmaa. Hagai Katz on Magalin markkinoinnin ja liiketoiminnan vastaava.
The company started about 40 years ago when electronics became more affordable and so on, and started doing, I would say, perimeter security. Mainly looking at the border. Those days it was after the '67 war, where the issues of terrorists coming from the other side of the border, and you couldn't put a soldier every 100 meters, just not practical. So the military was starting to look for electronic or smart device to protect it, and Magal has developed the first smart fences, i.e. sensing fences along the border. And that's how the company started, and actually the core technology of the company today is still smart fences, virtual fences, buried cables, all type of perimeter security. It's not a very large market, I mean the sensor itself, but it's a very unique market. But from that, Magal expanded to become a company that delivers full turnkey security solution.
Mega sporting events are festive times. But huge crowds may also bring crime, hooliganism, and the threat of terror attack. That's why today's events need the best security possible. Magal S3 presents the 2012 Africa Cup of Nations. A study in security, safety, and site management excellence.
About 2 years ago, we secured the African Cup of Nations football games that was in Gabon, and we took the project in the last minute. Everything was delayed to the last minute, and within less than 8 months, we delivered a full security, securing about 14 different sites. Some of them were just training, some of them were, I would say, Olympic villages, and of course the main stadium. It was in 2 different cities, 500 kilometers away, and that included everything: gates and guards and training and smart fences and a lot of cameras, and even a balloon, a zeppelin, small zeppelin hovering above the, and of course integrating everything to a single picture and training the people to use it. Another project, we have secured the port of Mombasa, which is the largest port on the Eastern Africa for Kenya. And again, we did a project of a few tens of millions, and it's still ongoing. We're expanding and so on for security in the whole, actually supplying a full security solution for the seaport. And it's working fine. The customer is very happy. We now see full-on orders for expansion. The port is growing. They are building new areas, so they need to be secured. It was a very large and complicated project, but we've delivered very successfully.
Magalin katolla seilaa yksi yhtiön uusimmista turvallisuuskehittelyistä turva-aitoja varten.
We're now developing a robot that will travel on a monorail along the fence. The idea is to take an existing fence, that to attach to it a rail, which is basically a tube, a metal tube, and a kind of robot traveling along it. The robot itself is very modular, so you can put different payloads. The typical payload will be a 2 short-range camera looking at the fence, and then some type of scanner that can automatically scan if there's a hole in the fence, or if there's an object that is suspected that was not there yesterday. In one mode, it does a very slow scan of the fence instead of the routine survey or patrol around the fence. But also, when somebody touches the fence or creates an alert in a local place, the robot might be far away, let's say a few hundred meters away, can accelerate, get to that point, stand in front of the intruder, first of all verify whether it's intruder, whether it's a nuisance alarm, and also have an intercom that you can communicate, and if it's, you know, a decent guy, say, hey, please stay away from the fence. But it's also a very good, I would say, replacement for guards in place where man labor is very expensive. You cannot afford to have the people doing the tour, for example, around prison every 3 hours, or maybe the weather, it's too cold or too hot, they don't want to be outside. So the machine is never tired, it can work 24/7.
Magal on yksi monista israelilaisista yhtiöistä, jotka tarjoavat turvallisuuden konsultointia eri maiden käyttöön.
Definitely Israel is ahead of most of them. I wouldn't say all, because there are some countries very developed security concept capabilities and so on, but definitely Israel as a country is a center of knowledge in the whole food chain of security, in analysis, in threat analysis, in consulting, in technology, i.e. products, building system, integrating them into full solutions, implementation, and later operation, training, and so on. Since Israel has been under security stress for more than 60 years, I would say even 100 years, the culture of security, the sense of urgency in that matter is actually built into the national, I would say, habits, national industry, national professionalism, and so on. And it's very different from most of the Western world and other countries where security is there, but it's typically only in very high security areas like maybe nuclear power plants or very highly secured. In Israel, you can see security matters going into any mall. In airports, for example, the Ben Gurion airport is protected by far more than other airports, and that was before the September 11. I mean, it was because of the events in Israel.
After over 40 years protecting strategic sites in 80 countries, Magal knows how to integrate into the bigger picture.
So the culture of security, the concept of security, the concept of reducing risk has developed and has created an industry by itself that has a lot to contribute to the world. And we see a lot of rising security issues around the world because of extremism, because of terrorism, because of organized crime, and so on. And in the last few years, that has a little bit a new spin, which is the cybersecurity, which is another aspect of the whole security. That is more has to do with crime, and we all know about banks and credit cards and so on, but it also applies today to any system that we see in the market that has a network, that has digital devices, and could be hacked. Cybersecurity in Israel, it's a startup nation, but there are, I think, I would guess, around 100 different startups dealing with different aspects of cybersecurity, which is by far larger, not in absolute number, but definitely relative number than any other country.